Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, I'm Stefan Reels. Thanks for joining us tonight at the Fox 61 News at 10. We begin tonight with a shocking move to the Connecticut healthcare system. Several people woke up this morning to find out Prospect Medical Holdings had filed for bankruptcy. This now puts the future of the Eastern Connecticut Health Network into question. And with 53 listed locations in the state, lawmakers are doing what they can to keep healthcare in the community.
It became clear that this is the direction they're going to go.
In a disappointing turn for State Senator Saud Anwar and many others, 9 years after Prospect Medical Holdings bought hospitals in Connecticut, the Los Angeles-based company announced it would file for bankruptcy. This follows a growing debt the company faced as it failed to pay back suppliers, doctors, and hospitals across the nation.
They stopped paying the right amount of funding, and they started to squeeze the amount of money that was being sent.
We're not going to run around with our heads cut off. We need to deal with this in the short term.
Leaders quickly reacted, like State Senator Jeff Gordon and Burn-in-Town Mayor Dan Champagne, who said this news was not unexpected. However, Champagne assured the community work was already being done to keep things as normal as possible. In an email to Fox 61, the mayor said, quote, "The key thing for our communities to know is that Eastern Connecticut Health Network will continue to care for patients and provide the medical care our communities have come to rely on. Patient care is still number one for ECHN," end quote. The Vernon mayor among those in conversation with hospital and state leaders, including Governor Ned Lamont and Attorney General William Tong, who both sounded off following the news Sunday morning. Both vowed to hold Prospect accountable in their obligation to provide quality care to Connecticut communities.
Yes, it's scary and concerning and anxiety-provoking, but you need to know that we are all in this together. We are going to be there to help protect you.
I want to reassure people when they need care, go to the emergency room if you feel you have to. If you need local health care, still do that. But we need to see what we can do to really get this away from Prospect, keep these hospitals and ECHN open and running and providing services and providing the jobs and the paychecks to employees, and then see what we can do moving forward. So we need to deal with saving the systems now and then preventing this from happening to any other system in the future.
And in an email to our newsroom, the governor told us the state will look at opportunities to transfer the hospitals to another operator. And both senators we spoke with today hope this will bring Yale back to the table. Now let's get a check on the forecast with meteorologist Deshaun Robinson. Deshaun, how is the start of the work week looking for us?
Well, we're going to have a beautiful start to the work week. Lots of sunshine for your Monday, and temperatures will top out in the 40s, so a bit above average for January. Right now, our temperatures are ranging from the upper 20s to the lower 30s across much of the state. 32 in Chester, 34 in New Haven, and 31 degrees right now in Hartford. It is mostly cloudy overhead. These cloudy skies will prevent our temperatures from falling too low tonight, so it won't be as cold as earlier in the week. So right now it is very quiet across much of the Northeast. A weak disturbance is pushing through the Midwest with some light snow showers. So mostly cloudy skies for much of the night, and again these clouds will keep our temperatures in the upper 20s for tonight. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, but the sunshine will have the upper hand. Temperatures will top out in the lower to mid 40s across much of the state. We will see a couple of flurries during the evening as a cold front pushes through, and this cold front will usher in colder temperatures for midweek. So a dry week is in the forecast for our area. Lots of sunshine, especially on Wednesday. But we are keeping an eye on those temperatures as another cold blast will push into our area. Coming up, I'll let you know more about this week's forecast. Stefan?
Thanks, Deshaun. And fire crews were busy this morning in Westport. Check this out. First responders were alerted to this crash just after 3 this morning. It happened on I-95 near exit 18 in Westport. Firefighters say when they got to the scene, they found a driver trapped inside the car. Firefighters had to use rescue tools to cut off the roof of the car to get the drivers out, who eventually was then taken to the hospital for treatment, but there's no word yet on how they're doing tonight. Meanwhile, fire crews and state troopers in Hartford responded to I-91 North near exit 29 just before 2:30 this morning. Troopers say it appears someone was trying to cross the highway before they were hit. The pedestrian was transported to the hospital with minor injuries, and the road was only closed for a little over an hour before it reopened. And over in Milford, two cars collided on I-91 South near exit 34. Troopers and EMS crews were responding to the crash at 2:02 this morning. The people in the vehicle only reported minor injuries, but we don't know if they were taken to the hospital. And the chimney to this house caught on fire. Firefighters responded to Dogwood Lane last night. When they arrived, they found heavy smoke coming from the chimney and roof areas of the home. Nobody was home at the time of the fire, but they did arrive to find fire crews at their home. It took them about an hour to put out the flames. No firefighters were injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Norwich police are still investigating a homicide that happened on Friday. Now, the incident happened on Baltic Road, and police were notified around 11:30 p.m. about a man with a stab wounds at the hospital. That man later died, and police say this was a targeted event and there is no threat to public safety. The victim's identity has not been released as of this moment. 6 Massachusetts college students are charged in a catch a predator assault as seen online. This is a wildly popular social media trend that has been circulating for some time now. Police say several students tricked another man onto campus after he was invited to Assumption University by a student whose Tinder profile said she was 18. She was led into a basement by the female. A large group then attacked him, called him a pedophile, and chased him to his car. The entire thing was recorded on several students' cell phones. She then called the police and reported the man as a sexual predator. Campus police determined her report was false after they looked at recordings that were being shared. The school's president described the behavior as abhorrent. And for the latest on all the stories we just told you about, just scan the QR code on your screen and download the free Fox 61 News app, or you can head on over to fox61.com. There you will find the latest developments. New tonight, a threat looming for Los Angeles fire crews and people living in the area. With much of the Palisades destroyed, new flames are headed towards the Brentwood community. And a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. curfew is still in place for some wildfire zones. Connor Hansen has more from Los Angeles County on the dangers to Southern California.
The California wildfires have left a large swath of Pacific Palisades destroyed. Now neighboring communities are on eggshells with that same fire threatening the Brentwood neighborhood.
Honestly, the entire perimeter is threatened. The concern is these winds as they go back and forth.
New evacuation orders are now in place for much of that area, including where Vice President Kamala Harris's home is. A dusk to dawn curfew still in effect for the Palisades and Eaton fire zones. Several people have been arrested already.
I saw a gentleman that looked like a firefighter, and he was not. He just got caught burglarizing a home.
The National Guard also deployed to keep the areas secure. Officials are warning that areas already hit by the destructive wildfires can still be dangerous.
In some of these areas, they literally look like war zones. There are down power poles, electric wires.
But some evacuated residents say they want to return back to their houses, walking from checkpoint to checkpoint, hoping for a police escort to their neighborhoods.
We never thought this would happen. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
And another threat is on the horizon for the Los Angeles area. Strong Santa Ana winds could force authorities to cut off power in some places to contain the spread.
The atmosphere is very continuously changing. We have to adapt to the conditions that are presented to us.
And that was Connor Hansen reporting. But those strong winds are supposed to pick up again tomorrow on Monday the 13th, making things much more difficult for fire crews already working around the clock to contain multiple large wildfires. The Salvation Army is on the ground helping out the West and those who lost everything. If you would like to donate, just download the free Fox 61 News app by scanning the QR code on your screen, or head on over to fox61.com. There you can click on the links page and follow the steps on how you can lend a helping hand. And some sports news for New England Patriots fans. They have found a new leader. Mike Vrabel is set to become their next head coach. The move comes after Robert Kraft fired former head coach Jared Mayo after the team's season finale victory against the Buffalo Bills. They finished 4-13 under Mayo.